Right, let's start today's session. See, in the last lecture, we completed .NET introduction as well as we started with C#.NET and application area of .NET also. Today we'll start with our basic application, console application. Okay, yeah. So in this console application, most of the cases like entire C#.NET syllabus, like basics, data types, control flow statements, operators, arrays, and even object-oriented programming principles, delegates, exception handling, file handling, multi-threading, and everything will cover in the console application context only. So let's begin console application. What is console application and how to prepare a programs in console application? Today we will see by launching Visual Studio 2022 software editor. First of all, console application is a standalone or a desktop application. Console application is a standalone or desktop application. Standalone or desktop application means what? The application once we build or design, on which computer you installed, on that computer only it works. That is limit to the system or reserved for particular system. That is standalone or desktop application. But console application will provide CUI facilities. CUI means command user interface or character user interface. Console application will provide CUI facilities. Okay. Yes. CUI facilities. All character user interface only. We don't see any GUI facilities like graphical user interface. If these console application programs are just like C++ programs, basic programs, which is going to be handled with a command prompt. So whenever we try to give the values as an input, that will read as characters, even we will get output also in the form of characters. So console applications will provide CUI, command user interface facilities. Next, in console application, console is a class. What is this means? It is a class. Console is a built-in class actually. Console is a class which is present in system namespace. System namespace means system library. As I said that .NET supports lot of libraries. It is one of the built-in library. This library automatically available. So in this library only, we have a predefined class, that is console class. So in console application, console class purpose is what? Console class is used to work with input and outputs. Console class is used to work with inputs and outputs. Input and output. So that means if you want to give any input values to the program for execution purpose, then we can use console class. At the same time, do you want to print output values after execution? Again, we use console class. So console class is used to work with input and output stream. But how to handle input and output means there is having console class methods are there. So console class is having methods. Console class methods. What are the built-in methods present in console class means? First method is write method. Second method is write line method. Here W capital, L capital line. The reason is I said already C#.NET programming language is a case sensitive programming language. R capital, read line, L capital. So these are the four main important methods which we are going to deal with the console class. See, sir, Especially right line methods are output methods. If you want to display uh, statements or output values onto the screen to the end user, then we use right line methods. Whereas read line methods are input methods. If you want to ask input values from the user during the program execution time, then we can use read line methods. These methods are very much similar how we handle with C++, .NET, C++ programs like printf output. Here we use write line methods. Scanf for asking inputs. Here read line methods. But these all four methods are associated with what class? Console class. For suppose write line method difference is what? For example, I am using console dot write method I'm using. Okay, I can say hello. This is my statement. Let me write console dot write method here also. I can say welcome. This is one more method. So how many statements I have written here? Console class dot write method with hello statement, welcome method, welcome statement. But when it comes to output, the result will be look like hello, welcome, which is in same line only. Just because of we use what method? Write method. So write method is used to display the output statements within the same line only. Whereas the moment when we use write line method instead of write method, this write line method is used to display the statements in line by line. Hello is printing in one line, welcome will print into the next line. Instead of using hello, welcome, that means line by line, write line method instead of, we can also use /n. Suppose here you can see write line I'm not using, still write only I'm using. But you can see, do you want to go with next line? Better to go for /n also, it works. /n means new line. So console.write line is equals to console.write with /n. Or else without /n, you can go with write line like this. So write line method through, we can print output statements into the line by line. Whereas write method through, we can print output statements in the same line only. This is the difference between write line methods. Okay, fine. Next, read line. So what is read and read line methods are here? So read line in the sense, I said that read line methods are input methods. To ask any input values from the user, then we can use read line. But for suppose I'm giving my input here Mohan. These are my input characters. To read this, if I use read method will read a single character at once. That means character by character. First it will read letter M. After that it will read letter O. Then after letter H. Then after letter A. Then after letter N. That is read method. Whereas read line method, for suppose if I use read line method will read whole total characters at a time. That means total string format it will read, not line by not character by character. It will read all the characters at once from the user input, not one by one character. This is the main difference between read and read line method. So read method will read character by character, whereas read line method will read whole characters like string format. Then read method return type is integer. It will, they may ask the question in interviews. What is the return type of read method? They'll ask. Okay. So read method return type is integer. Why? Because the read method will read character by character. I said, no, that is Mohan. But then character by character, if it is read, then what is the, why return type is integer means the read method will read ASCII value of the character internally. So you know that every character is having ASCII representation, ASCII value. That ASCII number is integer type only. That's the reason read method will return integer type only. That means it will read character ASCII value, not directly character. Whereas readline method return type is string, because readline will not read ASCII representation. Rather than directly, it will read group of characters all together at once, string format only. So this is the main differences about read and readline. Fine, sir. So after completion of this basic introduction of console application, now it's time to create a first time I'm creating console application. You can see this. I ask you to install Visual Studio 2022. Okay, because to prepare or to start coding part with C#.NET using console application, you must install in your system Visual Studio 2022 software. This is our software editor. But how to download and install Visual Studio 2022 means simply I can show you quick reference. Simply go to Google, type download Visual Studio 2022. So the moment when we type download Visual Studio 2022, you will be able to see this Visual Studio Microsoft.com here. This is the official website. Click on it. And now you can see there is a Visual Studio heading is there, main menu. Click on it, Visual Studio. And once you click on there, you can come slowly down. In the left hand side panel, you will see this Visual Studio and download option drop down list is there. But I am asking you to download this community and install it, sir. Because this community is the free edition for individual developers and academic users and students, and it is completely free of cost. And you can access lifetime here. But when we go to professional, this is not recommend because it is a free trial period. After trial period, you have to purchase it from Microsoft. Even enterprise edition also not free. It's completely licensed version. This can be recommended for organization people who are working with team members. Okay. So I recommend this is community. Please download it and install it. So it is very simple. After downloading, you will get Visual Studio 2022.exe file. Simply double click on it and go through the following steps. Next, and you can install it. So after installation successfully, even if I have installation problem, no worries. I will assist you. Once after tomorrow demo session, anyway, we will create a WhatsApp group for all students. Then in that we will communicate. If you have any problem with the installation procedure, I will assist you. Don't worry. But look at this. I have already downloaded and installed Visual Studio 2022 software for my previous batches, which are ongoing batches. So that I am going to open Visual Studio right now. So look at this Visual Studio 2022. This is my editor tool. But the moment when I click on this for the first time, we'll be able to see this dialog box. Okay, Visual Studio. But notice this left-hand side panel recently on which application through I'm working, all my applications are available here. But you need not to worry about this. Okay. And right-hand side, you can see there are several options are there. So first option is create new project today because we are starting coding part today itself. Previously, whatever I discussed, that is completely theoretical part, but which is really important, that information also. And that's what I'm saying, who are new to this session for the first time you're attending, don't worry. After completion of this lecture, our team will send a demo link of YouTube. So you can find that basic video lectures, what I completed, three sessions, that video lectures also will be there. Anyway, once your enrollment process is over, all the video lectures and material, we will update in your Google Drive. Okay. So let's create new project. But before going to create new project, my plan is to do here. First, I'm creating one new folder today, that is .NET 8 p.m. on desktop. So why new folder means continuously for this batch, all files and programs I'll stored in .NET 8 p.m. folder only. At the end of complete .NET sessions, this folder also I'll upload to your Google Drive with a lot of applications code and everything what we practice in our sessions. So it will be good. So this is our target folder from now onwards. .NET 8 p.m. is the folder name. This is just empty folder I created where I can save all my files and all. Okay, fine. After that, once we enter Visual Studio 2022, you can see in the first time I'm creating new project. You click on new project and notice this. This is very important options you have to select. So the language we have to select what C#.NET. Why? Because our language is mainly C#.NET only, no sir? Yes, C#.NET I'm selecting. And the platforms, you can see all platforms, or you can select Windows platform, no problem. I'm choosing all platform because we are working with core version. And you can see console application. So our currently we are working with what application? Console type of application. Even you can go for desktop GUI application. You can select gaming application, IO2, library, machine learning, mobile, and many more web applications like ASP.NET point of view. We go for web application. Web API point of view, we go for web API. So application type also I have to select. So let me select the application type is console type. Now you can see there are two options in front of us. There are two templates are available here. Ashwin Kumar, tell me.
Sir, take an example that on the .NET Core, we have created a console application. And now I'm going to host, I want to execute on the Mac OS. So do I need to require to install something on Mac OS or can directly use it? Because
No.
if we take an example in the past, ASP.NET, we have to install the ASP.NET framework on there, right? .NET framework.
See, Mac OS compulsory VS Code editor tool is need to be installed. It should be there.
What I need to install, sir?
VS Code, Visual Studio 2022 editor.
No, sir. What I'm saying that I have created an application on Windows application. Sorry, on a Windows server. Sorry, laptop or machine. The application is created. Now we have one exe file there. I want to take that exe file and want to execute on the Mac OS. So
Obviously, directly you can, no need to install anything. Direct it will run. That's what you can see Mac OS, it will run on any operating system. You mean to say once you prepare, generate exe file that can directly execute in other ways? Yes, it is possible.
So all the dependencies are within that exe file?
It supports, clearly it supports.
Okay, that's a nice feature.
When we choose this one only, you can see clearly it's showing that.
Got you, sir.
That
is very interesting.
If you choose this one, you can't do that one because which will scope exclusively reserved for Windows. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So two templates are there in front of you. Which one you want, you can see. Very
so
simple.
any kind of application we created, if we choose the .NET Core and going to install or going to execute on any operating system,
oh yes, yeah,
we don't need anything.
No, you can see a project for creating a command line application that can run on .NET, on Windows, Linux, Mac OS. This template, if you select, that is going to possible. But the moment when I choose this one, it is only exclusively for Windows. It is platform dependent style. It is independent style. Firstly, I'm showing dependent style so that what are the things are there. Immediately, I can show you independent style. So what options are there? What changes you are going to see? First time you can observe. Next time, anyway, we are going to use only completely core platform only. We never discuss about .NET framework related, .NET core related only. For the first time today, I'm showing just variation purpose. I'm selecting this console app .NET framework and click on next. You can see, as I said, that the application name we have to use, project name also. Any name you can give, but you can see the location is already .NET 7 p.m. One batch is running. That's what already we created console app 1. That's what app name is console app 2 is showing. But just now we create a folder in our desktop. So .NET 7 p.m. that folder I'm just selecting .NET 8 p.m. it is. So now we can see whenever I change the folder name 8 p.m. immediately it's asking to create for the first time application console app 1. This is project name. Do you want to change the name of the project? You can change it, not a problem. But notice this, what is I selected in the template format? .NET framework. That's what it is showing. Target framework is what? 4.8 only, recent framework, latest framework. Now click on create. It is going to create a new console application with the .NET framework, which makes platform dependent style run on Windows only. But this is not our continuation application. Just I'm showing for the first time .NET framework. Next, immediately I'll shift into core only, so that you can get the differences. See, for the first time, when we prepare a new console application, by default, you will get this program structure. So you can see on the top of this, these are all usings. Like how the C programmers or C++ programmers, they use header files. We are having, these are libraries or namespaces, we can say that. System is a main library. System.collections.generic. Collection means all data structures and collections present in this library. Language integrated query, that means link to SQL. And system.text, string format handling. System.threading.task, because every program will execute under one thread, that is main thread. So default and libraries are by default, it's coming whatever it's needed, basic programming. But our library is what? Console app 1. Tell me, Ashwin.
So as I can see, this is using system, which is a namespace. If we are using system on top of it, why we are using system.collection.generic and then others?
These are the sub.
If
in this core library, we are having sub libraries, multiple.
so, can't we use the single library, which is the parent
No.
library only?
No,
It
in
doesn't
this
work.
system only there are plenty of sub libraries are there. Even also we are using generic collections, normal collections also there. So we have to extend like this dot through.
Sir, to be very honest, but I am a little bit confused about this. I mean, take an example. If we talk about a class, which is a parent class, and we are inheriting in other classes as well. So if we make an instance of the parent class, as per the layman term, it should work. I mean, just want to know that why it is happening. This is something running in my mind.
That's what, man. Main library system. System is having sub libraries also. We can't include all the aspects in one library, no? That is waste of time. See, imagine that collections, generics, language integrated query, threading task, and more things which we included in system. Then see, wait a minute. Every time if I include system namespace, that unnecessarily load, waste of time. What you need, that you can load it. Collections I need, I can use collections. Right now, this is not in use. To be frank, I'm saying it is not active, it is inactive. So which is required, you can load it. Which is not required, don't load it. According to your word, I'm saying, if you are saying that, why don't we include all together in one system means, for example, I need 2 classes. If I import one class, system library is required because my class is representing that library. Without importing my system library, that I cannot able to work with my class. But just you can see this, for sake of one class usage, why we need to load bundle of classes with system library. So you can separation of concern is matter here. But suppose I want to use only threading classes, I can use system.threading namespace. I don't need all these libraries, waste of time. That is the matter. They are doing partitioning. Which is required, you can use it. Which is not required, don't need to build unnecessarily. Even in upcoming session, we can create our own library also. For suppose I'll include my library with 2 classes. Okay. So 10 classes. You are saying that all classes are present in same library? No, sir. Directly import the library. Yes, I can import. But all classes will build it. But I don't need all classes. I need one class only. Then what should I do? Library name dot class name I can mention. That is the process.
Sir, is that a program what it is showing?
Tell me.
That is which is showing on the screen. What is that? The total any program, sir? That one?
Yeah, program only. Program only. Just I'm giving answer to Ashwin. So I'll explain this program.
Okay, okay.
These are the built-in libraries and namespaces. And this is our namespace because just I created our own application. You can see this application name is console app 1. This is built-in namespace. In this namespace, we can include many of the classes. So these classes under comes into this project namespace console app 1 only. But for the first time when we create for the console application, we are having class And we are having an entry point called main method. So internal class program. So internal is the access modifier. I'll speak about later. So there are so many access modifiers are there, like internal, private, public, protected, internal. But default class access modifier is internal only. That means we can access this program class. Internal means inside the current project, like console app1 project is there. No, in this project, once we create this program class, we can access in any other class of this project only. That is the meaning of internal. And first time while creating console application, one class will come, and now you can see one main method also coming. It is an entry point. The static void main. M should be capital, and the string square bracket args it is called command line arguments representation. As I said, that console application is a command prompt application, which we are going to deal with characters like input and outputs in string format. That's what by default string square bracket args. It is optional to implement here. So look at this. This is project folder console app 1. Do you want to manage your project folder? There is a right hand side of Visual Studio. Solution Explorer is there. This is programs. Basic structure is they are giving. If you click on Solution Explorer, you will see console app 1 project folder. And by default, it is added one class called program. This is called C# extension. Every C# program extension with .cs. .cs is nothing but C# only. Fine. Now let's build. You can see after creating this program, you can minimize it. What was there, sir, in this .NET 8 PM folder means nothing. We have console app folder is there, and we have some built-in files created, solution file, projects files, configuration file, and properties window bin folder. In this bin folder, debug folder, there is no executable file or DLL files not at all created. Why? Because even we have not built our application, even we have not execute our application. Let's close it. Now let's write some simple code here. Look at this. I'm writing console program. So console is a class. The moment when I start console, immediately the IntelliSense is coming here. So console, press enter, it is a class. Did you notice what's going to happen when I start console class? The activation of system namespace is active only. That means this class is present in system namespace, which I explained. So console is a class which is present in system namespace. Console class is used to work with input and output clearly. So this is a console class which is present in system namespace. Now console dot, I'm using write method. When I starts with W, the words which are started with W all will be present in the IntelliSense window. You can import it what the way you want. For example, I'm using write method. So I can say write hello. Okay. Again, next line, if you want to write, you can see the advantage of Visual Studio. What user is trying to write, directly it's showing. You can hit the tab key, automatically it will capture from there. No need to write complete code here. So for example, here I'm using next line, welcome. 2 lines I have written, console.write. So note this, even though the namespaces or libraries are present here, but one of the namespaces only it's available because these classes are present in this namespace. So it is active, but remaining are not active, inactive. Whenever these libraries related stuff you are using in the code, that is going to be active only. So these are not useful. This is useful only now. Now it's time to run our application. But you can see, sir, there are 2 options are there. Directly you can hit the start button here. Okay, for running, compilation and run at a time together. Or else do you want to compile first and run later? That option also there. Let me show you compilation first. Compile means build. There is a build menu and build console app 1 is there. You can see build console app 1. Now you can see build started in the left hand side corner window. So once build started here, build succeed you have to get. So build succeeded. Once build succeeded means there is no compilation errors. Your program is ready to execute. Notice this, after successful compilation, you will see that it create what files and folders you can see. .NET 8 PM, console app 1, bin, debug. Previously, there was no files generated. Here, these files are generated here. So that is executable file, and compilation files and debugging files created. So these files are created just because of we have compiled the C#.NET program. Now it's time to run. To run your program after compilation, simply you can click on this start button. So once I click, it is going to be execute. You will be able to see the output into command prompt application. But notice this, the moment when I start run, the command prompt window is coming, the output is coming and going. So it's not staying back continuously. So important thing is to stay back our screen, compulsory we have to use a read method. It's keep on read the output statements. So just because of read method only, your output window is going to be stay back onto the screen. So until you close this window, we can see this is command prompt window where we can see the output. But notice this hello word and welcome word both are present in the same line. The reason is why if you want to exit from this output window, there are two options are there. Either you can press enter button or you can press close button. Okay, so anyone you can choose enter or close. So I'm hitting enter button. I exit from the output window. Why, sir? The two lines are present in same line means just because of write method. The moment when I start use write line method, so you can see that write line method through I'm using write line method is used to display the output into line by line. Now this time the output present one line hello and another line welcome like this. Even the next line also cursor is blinking third line only. And we are closing or we are exit from this output window. Even you can close or press enter. Okay, fine. Just because of read method, we are staying, we are making the output window staying back until you close the window. But you can see there is one more method also there. Instead of read method, sometimes programmers, they use read key method. So read key method advantage is after execution, you will be able to see the output window. After this, you need not to hit enter button to exit from this output window. Just because of we have used a read key method, no, you can hit any key from keyboard, automatically you will exit from the window. So any key you can press, you can see that you will exit from this output window. Just because of I use read key method, that's what I entered any key, I exit from the output window only. Option is yours, anyone you can use. I use read only, fine. So write line method through we are printing output into the next line, line by line. As I said that either you can use write line or else you can go through write only. See here, write method I'm using. And you can use /n after hello n. Even you can also use /n here if you want to move to next line. So even I use write methods only, but because of just the /n new line statement, I'm able to move to next line only. Both are same. Okay. So this is the way to execute first time the program, how to handle with one simple class with main method, with console class. Suppose you can see I'm commenting this system library. How to comment any line means place the mouse pointer on which line do you want to comment. Simply there is a commented option is there in the Visual Studio, comment. That line has commented. Look at this. What is the reaction you are seeing when I keep comment here? That means I'm not including system library. Immediately our console class is giving errors. Do you want to see the errors? Simply directly run it. You will see there were build errors. Would you like to continue and run the last successful build? Say yes means last successful output will come along with errors. No means no output, errors only will appear. So errors all appear here, 3 errors. Because 3 times we use console class. Console class does not exist in the current context. That means you miss the system library. At least if you miss the system library, you can also include system in every line, but which is not recommend actually. So every time we need not to use this system.system.console like this. So it's burden onto the programmer. So better to import the library on the top of the program. You can manage it. Even I have not include system library, but here system is the library name, that class name and method name. So this method present in class present in library. So it works well, no problem at all, sir. But I don't recommend really this is. So just go for Control Z means going back to our previous program style. Even you can see uncomment means, again select this line. Uncomment options are there here in the Visual Studio, uncommented. Okay. So comment means those lines will not be included in the program. Uncomment means you can include in the program. Fine. So right now we are handling what the default class, which is coming by default the moment when we create console application with the .NET framework for the first time, sir. Fine. How I can add more classes to my application? Because I don't need to deal with same every time program. So if I want to add one more class, for example, how to add means simple. Go to Solution Explorer, right click on your console app one project folder. Add option is there. You can see add menu, add option. There is simply class option is there, class. So if I include class, if I click on class, you will be able to get one dialog box with lot of templates. I'm choosing class template here. And the class name, they are asking what name do you want to give. You can mention any name, what you want, but don't forget to mention .cs file. .cs is an extension and click on add it. Or else there is one more shortcut option. Instead of going these many options, like going to Solution Explorer, right click on project folder, go to add and click on class. These are many options we need not to go. There is a simple shortcut option to add extra class to the console application. Project menu, simply add class. This is best option. Very easily we can add extra class to this console application. Project menu, add a class. Similarly, we have class template you have to select, class1.cs or any name of the class name you can use it. I'm just adding quickly, you can see add button I'm hitting, automatically a new class successfully added. But observe the differences. For the first time, when I create console application, first time we got along with the class, the default class name is program and main method also we got it. But the moment when I add next extra class to this console application one, that is class one only coming, there is no main method. Okay. So if you want to create main method in this class one also, you can type manually static space, void space, M capital letter main, open and close. So this is the way to add main method. You can see I have not mentioned strings args here because I said optional. But do you want to give manually main method like this? You can give, but there is a shortcut to produce main method. So what is the shortcut to generate main method in Visual Studio 2020 means simple SVM you can type. S for static, V for void, M for main. And immediately you can press tab key. So once you press tab key, automatically the main method will be generated. Tab, T-A-B. I'm hitting tab key. So static void main method is generating clearly. This is a shortcut to generate static void main method. Let's type SVM tab key. So it is automatic generated static void main method, no? Yes. So here I'm trying to write one more simple process, console.writeLine method. So just I'm writing new statement. Welcome to DURGASOFT .NET online sessions. Just I'm giving some description. This I want to execute. And to stay back to our screen, console.read. Now listen, sir, I want to execute this program now. Not program class one. But if you run directly, okay, what will happen? You can see this. There is an error. This is the problem generally we notice for the first time when we deal with console programs. Whenever the moment we had two more classes like extra classes, okay, previously it was worked well because there is only one class. In that class only we have maintained one main method. But right now we have introduced one more class, that is class one. Class one also is having main method. That's what here C# compiler is getting ambiguity to execute which main method. So again, it is saying there were build errors, means compilation errors. Would you like to run successful build? No, I am saying. So I want to see error only. What error it is there? You can see program has more than one entry point defined, it says. Program has more than one entry point means what? Entry point means main method. So in this case, the program.cs is having one main method and class1.cs also is having one more main method. So again, your compiler will get ambiguity, that means confusion state, to start from which main method, whether it is class1 main or program main. So to avoid this, to execute your required class code, you need to set startup object. So startup object meaning is what? As a programmer, you need to decide which program main method onwards your execution should start. So that process is nothing but startup object. So how to follow the steps to include startup object means simple, sir. Go to Solution Explorer. Okay. So there is a properties option is there in this console app one. So you can see properties only. This properties you will be able to see only when you create .NET console application with the .NET framework. Even in later, we will go through .NET Core platform through. You never see properties. That's what I'm saying. Both options, .NET framework, .NET Core framework. Options are quite different, sir. First, I'm dealing with .NET framework. Later, we will continue with our all lectures with .NET Core. That there we have a lot of differences, like changing startup objects options are completely different here. But here, we are working with .NET framework right now. Go to Solution Explorer. To change startup object, double click on properties. Double click on properties. I just double click on properties and this is the .NET Framework 4.8 target. There is a startup object drop down list is there. By default not set. You can expand that. In your current application, how many classes are present and that to which class is having main methods or entry point. All the classes will present here. You can decide here which class do you want to start execution. I am deciding that class 1. After changes here startup object, don't forget to save. Compulsory save is required. Once I save it, now you can see I'm running this. So program execution starts from console app class 1. The class 1 output is welcome to DURGASOFT.NET online sessions. Okay. Yes, close it. Again, do you want to execute first program like program.cs? Simply go to console app folder, which I open already. You can set program as a class startup object, save changes and run it. You will be able to get that program.cs program running. So which program do you want to run? You have to keep startup object. This is the way to handle with multiple classes using .NET Framework console application. Fine, sir. So I'm going to close this Visual Studio here. Why? Because I'll tell you. Because our main target is not to create a console application like this with the .NET Framework. Let's delete this. Right now, .NET 8 PM folder is empty, sir. Okay. So we have got the idea how to handle the console application using .NET Framework, how to handle multiple classes by changing startup object. Now it's time to show you how to prepare same console application with the .NET Core platform. Then what options are different? We will see that. So let's go to Visual Studio 2022 back. Recreate a new project. You can see, click on new project, create new project. This time my option is what this template, sir. Earlier I selected this template, but this time my option is should be like this only. So this is core platform. Today onwards we'll continue from this template through all the lectures because our main target is core only. So console application, all platforms, C#.NET language, console application template with core template. So next option I'm using. Look at this console app 1 only because that app I have deleted already, which is created through .NET Framework, which is in .NET 8 PM. So next option you can select. In the next option, you can see what framework it is, .NET 8.0. It's not framework, it's a core framework. And now you can see, remember the activation of checkboxes, do not use top level statements. Just keep it in your mind, this option. I'll discuss about this later. What happens if you don't activate this checkbox also, I'll explain you clearly. Okay. So we are selecting .NET Core 8.0. Do not use top level statements. We are using activation and click on create. How it should be, you will see that. You see, what was the difference you notice previously, which I created console application with the .NET framework, now which I created console application with core framework. Tell me, Mr. Ashwin.
Sorry, sir. By mistake, I have done this. Sorry.
Okay, fine. See, sir, what is the difference means? When I create console application with the .NET framework, all the top level statements, that means libraries, we have seen already, like using system.collections, using system.task, threading or something. But we don't have such statements here clearly in this core. Why? Because just in the template while creating console application, there was a checkbox called do not use top level statements. I activated, no? That is the reason. It's there. All the statements, top level statements are there, but it will be hide to make a program structure simplification purpose, especially .NET Core version. So how I can work with top level statements means you can deactivate that checkbox. Automatically all the header files also will come. That through only we can practice. Just a moment. So built-in code also coming here, console.writeline, hello world program. Even you can see Solution Explorer. This is console app 1. But are you able to see properties window here? No, sir. For changing startup object, there don't be any properties window in this core framework. But let's compile, sir. Before that, let me check the folder. Console app 1, bin, debug, .NET 8.0. There is no files created. So let's close it. Let's compile the code and execute also, no problem. Compile and execute both at a time we can do directly. We can hit this run button. You can see we got the output. Again, it is come and go. Like you are not going to stay back in the output statement because we have not used console.read procedure. Yes. Now let's run it. You will see this output. Hello world, it's coming default output like this. Fine. Next, let's see this what files generated in this folder. .NET 8 PM, console app 1, bin, debug, .NET 8.0 folder, and you can see there are several files created. So look at this debug file and JSON file, configuration JSON. Why JSON? In the sense JavaScript object notation file, because we are working with platform independent style. If we create JSON file, automatically any platform, any OS can easily understand the JSON format, because JSON is the common understandable format by any OS and any technology. But previously, why don't we have seen JSON while creating .NET framework? That exclusively run on Windows only. It won't run on any other operating system. Right now, the supportive file JSON is there. Just because of that, it can able to understand by any other OS and other technologies also. Fine, sir. We are dealing with one program, one class. Mr. Ashwin, tell me.
So it means that JSON file is having all the dependency which is required to run this program.
Exactly. That can take care of everything.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So now you can see the program class is there. Now let's add one more class to this console application also, because here while working with core platform, the startup object changing is options are different actually, not same. That's what I'm adding one class here, add class, and I'm selecting class template. Class 1 I'm adding. You can see by default class 1 is added here, internal class 1. Okay. Now I'm trying to take main method SVM, and I'm trying to add my program console.writeline. So I can say hello Hyderabad. Any statement you can write, not a problem. Just for output, I want to show you. Then to stay back to our screen, console.read. Fine, sir. This time again, when we run, you will get an error. Why? I said that two classes are having main method. We have to set entry point, that is startup object here also. But even in the previous case, while working with the .NET framework, when I go to Solution Explorer, there was clearly option for me properties. When I double click properties, there was an option shows me startup object drop down list. There I can select. But here there is no startup object, no? Yes. Properties not there. Then how to do startup object in core platform with console application means simply right click on console app 1 project folder, right click. Look at this on the bottom corner, you are going to see properties window. Click on it. Once you open properties of console app, You can see target framework is .NET Core 8. Now slowly scroll down. There is a startup object option. Here it is there. Select this, class 1. After changes startup object, save changes, and then run it. Your required class code is going to be executing now. So these are the changes are there with the core and the .NET framework differences. Okay, small changes, not much more changes here. But you may get doubt, sir, again, for the first time when you use, there is no top level statements are coming. But when I try to use class 1, we got against this namespaces, no? Yes. Why? Because you can see this. Double click on console app 1. By default, in the settings, implicit usings are enabled is there. Okay, enabled means what? Automatically internally can be used. Notice this. Did you notice in the previous example, while working with the .NET framework with console application, the moment when I start use console class, automatically system namespace was active, but still it is not active. Why? I said that here you can see double click on console app 1. By default in the core framework, implicit usings are by default active. So try to disable manually. I'm using disable here. Click on save it. Now this time go back to your class 1. You can see console class where I'm using now here, but now it is active. Now you can see this. Implicitly we are not using. We have to do manual. Automatically it will take care of this system. But if I do this enable means here enable, automatically system is active mode only. Classes also will work without making active that. So this is the small differences you have to notice. So core through we created console application, and normal .NET framework through also we created console application. Both are small differences, not much more. But tomorrow onwards, we'll continue this core through only what I created, this console application. We can keep on add many classes, and we can deal with the different program styling clearly. Okay. So that's all for today. This is the 4th demo which we completed. You have still one more demo access. Tomorrow also you can feel free to attend the demo lecture. And after tomorrow class, do you wish to continue all the lectures? And you must enroll for this course, so that day after tomorrow onwards, our team will generate the paid link. And I'm especially requesting you who are new to this session, especially, I'm asking you to please visit youtube.com. In this youtube.com search box, you can simply type DURGASOFT, sir, actually. DURGASOFT, DURGASOFT. In this DURGASOFT channel, this is official YouTube channel of DURGASOFT. And I strongly recommend to visit, you can see .NET Core 8 p.m. IST. This is my lectures which I conducted previously. Now you can see you can also go to playlist option. In this playlist, they have uploaded my demo lectures, 3 videos what I conducted. This is the 4th session. They'll also upload today night or tomorrow morning. You can feel free to watch these videos for more clarity. Anyway, after enrollment process is over, obviously I'll collect your mail IDs from DurgaSoft. From there onwards, I can share all the video lectures so far I completed, and along with soft copy of material. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Sir, how many days we have class in a week?
From Monday to Saturday.
Monday, Sunday is free, right?
Yeah, Sunday is free.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Who is that? Pooja, tell me.
Sir, you are using Visual Studio from community software, right? So we
Yes.
can't do this coding in Visual Studio Code. It is not possible. .NET
We
Core
can do
and
it, but not that much familiar, because maximum library support and any packages support will be clearly present in VS 2022. It is better to manage the code. But there you have to do manual installation, so many extensions. That's not suggestible mostly.
we can set the communication between two softwares, like
That means
writing codes differently.
Ah,
In our like in our company, in our project, they will communicate between two softwares. So that's why
can
I'm
you please
asking.
disclose those software? What are that? Can you name it at least?
Yeah, Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio Profession, both.
Okay. It's there. We can able to inject. I think supportive file they are using. See, company environment style of code is different, and learning stage environment code is different because they can use that supportive file all the ways. Accessibility is there through the network.
Okay, sir.
So better practice, I recommend VS 2022. So everything we can access in one place.
But when we face issue of the software, we will use this Visual Studio Code also.
No,
That's
VS
why.
2022 only I use continuously all the topics which I cover.
Okay, sir.
Sir, if in case I'm going to practice this on Mac, so in that situation, I need a Visual Studio Code, right? So I mean, how we can deal with this situation?
You are having right now Mac OS, huh?
Yes, sir.
Try to get the VS 2022 with the Mac version. So you just try how to download and install. If any problems, so that I'll assist you.
Okay, for Mac, we have Visual Studio version as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
సార్
Tell me, sir.
సార్ ఈ ఇంతే స్పీడ్లో చెప్తారు సార్ రెగ్యులర్ క్లాస్ కూడా
Is this you feel that it is speed?
అవును సార్ నేను ఫ్రెషర్
Okay.
యాక్చువల్లీ
No problem. I'll cut my speed. Okay. So just the flow should be clear that there is no speed matter, even though I explained the speed, but I think so flow is also not typical to understand. No problem. I'll go with the slowly, no doubt at all.
ఇంకోటి రెగ్యులర్ క్లాస్ ప్రాక్టీస్ మీరు చేపిస్తారా సార్ లేకపోతే మీరు అంటే
See how I can do with you. So because you have to attend the sessions regularly and you have to get the clarity even while doing the code, while giving lectures, you can also parallelly you sit in front of your system and do what I'm doing, same thing. That's regular practice. Even after completion of session, that's what you have to practice your own at your home, and any doubts are there, you have to open the video and see my lecture video. And if you have any doubts also, feel free to communicate through WhatsApp chat, post your queries, and I'll assist you over there.
ఓకే సార్ ఈ క్లాసెస్ ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజు ఇస్తారా సార్ లేకపోతే అంతా అయిపోయింది
Yes, today class is over, no? So immediately, once video process happen completely Zoom, then our team will send that video. I'll send to your Google Drive, upload it. See, one time I'll create folder. I'll share that folder to all students who are enrolled for this course. Every day, you will not get mail directly. I can post that video into that folder. Automatically, you can able to get access.
ఓకే సార్ ఓకే ఓకే
Java, .NET, which is better? So you are asking this question to the .NET trainer. Obviously, you can expect my answer. Okay. I can say .NET is better. In what way? In the learning process, okay, and all survival process. Obviously, compared to Java, .NET is better. I feel that. But I'm not degrading Java. Java is also perfect and good, but learning is somewhat little bit typical, and survival also, it's my typical compared to .NET. So it depends on your choice again. So both are good, not at all. Both are good as their own.
డాట్ నెట్ ఇంకా ఎన్ని డేస్ ఉంటుంది అంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఉండదు సార్ ఫ్యూచర్లో అట్లా
Why problem, man? So we are seeing .NET from 2002. Right now we are in 2024. 22 years over. What is the problem in that?
ఇంకొక 25 ఇయర్స్ కూడా ఉంటుందా సార్ జనరల్గా
I don't know. Because I'm not belongs to Microsoft person, okay? So just I'm an audience like you. We are using services which keep on going, not a problem. So there is never ending process in technologies like this. It's keep on going, and the new versions and new updations will come forward. You have to keep on go with the flow.
ఓకే సార్
Hmm. So have a nice time. See you tomorrow. Again, tomorrow is the last demo. You can also feel free to attend the sessions. And after tomorrow, you must enroll for this course to continue my sessions. Thank you. I'll go slowly, for sure. Tomorrow, I'll go slowly. I'll not maintain this fast phase. I'll reduce my phase. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.